Hi, Alicia Taverner, licensed marriage and family therapist and owner of Rancho Counseling. Today, I want to talk about an issue that comes up pretty regularly in couples counseling, and that is creating a time for date nights. So having a regular date night is probably one of the most basic prescriptions given out by couples therapists, but I think it's also one of the most commonly ignored prescriptions. And so a lot of times I sit back and think, like, why aren't clients doing this? But when I think about it, I think that it's because it's just so basic in nature that it leaves couples wondering, how important is this really? The point of having a regular date with your partner is really just about the connection. It's talking and getting back to who you were before life got too busy. Even when couples don't have kids, I think they often mistake time together as quality time. But just because you occupy the same space day in and day out, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're connecting. You could be watching something in the living room on TV while your partner is in the bedroom on the laptop. And this can go on, this could be your evening routine and go on for weeks on end. You're experiencing two totally disconnected realities, even just being in the same space. And date night is really that important. It represents friendship. And we often grant our friends an incredible amount of grace when it comes to things like disagreements or misunderstandings. And that's exactly how we should treat our partners. But the key here is that you have to have that relationship established in order to do so. So I recently read an article on Facebook about why date nights are just a total waste of time. The author was a mom, and so she listed all of these excuses that I hear most people give when they're trying to plan a date night. Things like the cost, the need for a babysitter, and having to get out of your yoga pants. And so while I can attest to having these hangups myself, I just have to call BS on all of those excuses, because when you stop dating your partner, you really open the door to lack of connection. And date night doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't even have to take place at night. It can be something where you do a Sunday walk once a week, and that's your date time. You can do a regular lunch every Thursday during the work week. I'm actually an even bigger fan of meeting up during the day, because then no one falls asleep during a movie or on the way home. So here are my top tips for scheduling a date night successfully. The first tip is you want to choose a reoccurring day and time that works for both of you. Number 2, get a shared calendar. It could be a giant wall calendar that you keep in your kitchen, or shared calendars on your iPhones. You can use Google Calendars, but just make sure that each person is in the know. It's something that they're looking at regularly, and mark that day and time out on your calendar. Tip number 3 is to guard this date the same way that you would if you had an important doctor's appointment. It's funny how we can leave work, we can fight traffic, and do whatever else we need to do to get to appointments like this. And you need to approach date night the same way. Tip number 4 is to shoot for twice a month or once a week if you can swing it. Tip number 5 is, if you don't have a babysitter, get creative. Talk with some of your couple friends who might also be lacking a date night and agree to swap kids every other week. Tip number 6 is to have fun planning. Switch off planning every other date and surprise one another with either an evening out or even an evening in. Tip number 7 is to be creative, and remember that it's not about the cost, it's about the connection. And my last and final tip is to use websites like Groupon, Living Social, or Gold Star for money saving and creative ideas and different things that you might want to try together. And that's it. Get your date night on, start connecting, and remember that friendship should come first. And if you get stuck and you just can't seem to get in the groove of dating your partner, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help. Be sure to like and share this video out with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more information on having happy, healthy relationships. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.